The only real developments that I see significant on anticipating Friday's Putin-Trump meeting. We still are expecting tomorrow, Wednesday, for the president to meet with the Europeans to pregame. Was the president's remarks really lowering expectations about what might occur? Here he is at his press conference yesterday. One of the many things he said about the meeting on 105, please.
Well, we're going to have a meeting with Vladimir Putin, and at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made. How will you know that? Because that's what I do. I make deals.
So for the uninitiated, a normal summit takes a long time to plan, and the staff develops a pre-cooked list of so-called deliverables so that people don't, the international media and expectations don't all gather in some big international city and then nothing happens. They want something out of it. The president suggested that he could walk in. Putin could say, "Hey, I want to be president of Ukraine," and the president could walk out. So that wouldn't be great for all the people who spend money flying to Alaska. I'm still thinking of going. So here's the question, gentlemen. What odds would you put on the notion that Zelensky doesn't come, Trump and Putin meet for 5 minutes, Putin's a jerk, Trump storms out, and that's it? You think that's greater than 20% chance based on what the president said yesterday? Sean?
So the odds that Zelensky doesn't come.
No. I'm saying let's stipulate Zelensky's not coming. Trump walks into the room with Putin. What are the odds that it's a very short meeting and Trump says, Putin was a jerk. He's not being reasonable. I'm going home. Is that to me? I'll flip my cards. I think based on what the president said yesterday and based on Putin, I think there's like a 30% chance that's what happens.
I'll go higher. I'd say it's probably closer to 40.
Wow.
I could be convinced to go to 50.
Yeah. Dan, do you think this is now right in the possibility?
No, I think it's like 5, 10. I think Trump is going to try to charm and schmooze and come out with something. And I think Putin is smart enough to play along because it flips the game back to Zelensky, right? Putin will give something small that Trump will turn into a mountain and say, I got something. Putin's serious. We're making, God darn it, Ukraine. Now you got to get, and Putin will love it.
Either
of you keep lobbing bombs.
Hold on. Do either of you think there'll be a joint press conference?
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry. One of you said yes. One of you said no. So that's maybe.
I'm clearly in camp.
So you think?
Is Trump going to fly that far?
Well, he'll come and do a
historic meeting and be quiet and leave.
No, he'll come and do it. He'll do his own readout.
He'll do his own.
I think they do it together.
Also, just to be clear, one thing that everyone sometimes misses about this is that what Trump was doing in my mind yesterday was laying the predicate. This is all about him making sure that the field is like the negotiating field. So yesterday to me was a big signal to Putin that said, you know what, I show up there, you don't mean business, I'm walking out.
Yeah.
And that was to me another attempt by Trump to make sure that the ground was ready for him to say, you know what, I will walk out.
Now the Wall Street Journal reports that the Russians are talking about this as a summit about a variety of topics, that Ukraine's just one of many things, and that a part of what they're discussing is something that Trump is clearly interested in, which is rebuilding the U.S.-Russian relationship about economics and energy and all sorts of things. Dan's shaking his head because he's a hawkish Cold Warrior. So let's do the logistics here. How long does it take to fly from Andrews to Anchorage? It's like 7 hours, right?
Oh, Seattle is 5.5. I think it's got to be longer than.
You got a bigger plane.
I think it's 7. I think it's 7 hours on that plane. So let's say it's 7 hours. So again, what time's the summit? Unless he goes the night before. Does anybody think he's going the night before?
I think the summit's going to be in prime time on the East Coast.
Prime time on a Friday night on the East Coast.
6 o'clock. Well, no, so that he gets in the news at between the 5 and 7 East Coast hour.
But do the math. Let's say he leaves. He never leaves earlier than 8.
Okay. So you get there at 3.
Get there at 3 Eastern.
Do the summit from 3:30 to 4:30, 5:30. He comes out. Evening news is led. But Two-Way Tonight is talking about it.
But here's the question. Or Two-Way Tonight
and the Sean Spicer show.
Two-Way Tonight. Well, Sean Spicer show might be pre-taped, so I'll have to figure that out. Here's the thing. Okay. The president, I assume from what he said yesterday, he's going in there. This could be a 2-minute meeting or it could be a 3-hour meeting, right? So if you want coverage I don't see how you can start it that late if you want to make sure you get coverage. Because what if it's 4 hours? Let's say it starts at 5, then it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. See what I'm saying? Just like we don't know enough about the logistics and how this is going to play out. But I don't know if Trump wants to be talking about this Friday night at 9:30. Maybe.
Well, it's a Friday in general, so I mean, just right there.
Yeah. Well, but if it's
even at noon in August.
well, but it still would dominate the world. Do you guys think like the Dutch media is going? Like, is everybody going to this, or is it just basically the U.S. press?
They haven't sent out, as far as I can tell.
They have.
Okay.
It was for planning purposes only, so I shouldn't say much about it. But yeah, they've sent out a press advisory. But not a lot of details, I'll tell you that. Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip, and you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.